Welcome, everybody, to episode 28 of Smack Talk here at smarkoutmoment.com. I am your host, once again, and always, Tony Mango. With me today, even though the censors probably wouldn't like it, Michael Burhan and Chris Urban. Chris Dace might pop up. We're not sure. He hasn't gotten back to us yet. But, you know, what the hell. We'll add him in the title card.
We're mostly getting a secretary, that bitch just keeps saying, no, he's busy. He's trying to measure his penis size. That's why he's not on yet. So,
What kind of an accent does this imaginary secretary have?
I'm thinking Scottish, but I can't do Scottish, so I'm just standing there going, yeah.
It's just naggy bitch accent.
Yeah.
An English accent to me.
That's an English naggy bitch accent. It's like the worst naggy bitch accent in the world because it's English. All you guys have ever dated an English woman? You know what I'm talking about. Casual racism, only on Smack Talk.
All right, so we're going to go right into the Ask Him right now. You got one for us?
Yes, I do. And I'll
and Urban, if you
necrophilia this time.
Urban, if you aren't familiar, Ask Him. Either of us can answer the question, and you win nothing.
Yeah. Well, I've thought about an incentive. So this is the incentive. The winner from today's Ask Him gets to do the Ask Him next week. So they have to come up with a nice little question for the rest of us.
All right.
Okay, this week, this gentleman, as a sort of celebration of all things Paul Heyman, we'll add this gentleman in. He initially came to the WWE as a Heyman pet project, and he was initially managed as part of a team with a certain wrestler who's been in the company for so long, and then went on to work a Survivor Series team with another sort of Heyman, with a Heyman protege, so to speak. He then returned with another different gimmick where he would recite certain things to certain people, and was made fun of because of a notorious angle on SmackDown where he literally kidnapped an announcer. Then he spazzed out on tour after having a tag team title run and left the company. Who is he?
You always got to pick something from when I wasn't watching, don't you?
Saying that, this dude had a lot of trouble getting over.
That rules out a lot of people.
His theme song always used to mention his name, not his first name, his last name.
Test?
No.
Wait a minute. What the fuck am I thinking of? Test.
He's a
singular name.
Protege.
Fucking, I have no idea.
Supposedly protege.
What's your guess?
Heyman.
I couldn't even come up with a guess. I have no clue. I wasn't watching then.
No guess is better than Test, because that was fucking ridiculous.
Filled in for a world famous tag team.
Heidenreich.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, there you go. The Heidenreich.
Heidenreich. And the segment I was talking about was the notorious rape segment with Michael Cole. Does anyone remember that one?
Oh, I've heard about that, yeah. I wasn't watching it at the time, though, to witness the horror.
Looks at him strangely, holds him by the throat and says, I've been wanting to do this to you since I first laid eyes on you. Winning, Michael. Winning.
I'm thinking this wasn't PG then.
No. Someone actually has the video with the that Roxette song, It Must Have Been Love. That's actually dubbed over it, and it's got Heidenreich holding Cole by the neck. Hilarious.
All right, so there's the Ask Him. Hopefully I can think of something good for next week, and if not, think of a backup. Why not?
And kids, anal rape is nothing to laugh about.
No, only necrophilia, apparently, according to last week's show.
Hey,
That's not a laughing matter either. I take that shit seriously.
I've got a T-shirt that says "Corpses can do it till they can't move anymore."
So
Yes, baby.
we're gonna go into the hot tags before we start getting into this.
Talk
First
to me.
off, hopefully Dace can pop in here because he wanted to go on a big rant, but if not, then I don't know. Maybe we'll add another show or something like that, or he'll post something on his account. But first things first, Goldust has been released by WWE, apparently because of the spot between Darren Young and Titus O'Neil, the powerbomb finishing move that they did. That was the quote unquote incident that got him fired because he was responsible for booking that segment or coming up with it or something like that. That just sounds like a bullshit excuse to me. He probably pissed somebody off, and they used that as a means to say that he wasn't doing his job properly or something like that. Ridiculous.
In saying
Unless,
that, he has been a douchebag quite recently. Remember the whole Christianity thing he had going on with like people on Twitter?
yeah, we'll get into the Twitter stuff.
Yeah. So and he didn't even do necrophilia. That guy was fucking mad.
Yeah, so what do you guys think about Goldust being released?
I think it was bound to happen. Dude was a few screws loose.
It was Goldust.
So exactly,
He's had this problem for what, 20 years?
exactly. So the WWE's fault for taking a chance on him, really. Plus, the majority of his comments he used to say on Twitter were just outlandish anyway. If someone was like, "The Divas division is shit," then he would just like, "You're blocked. Fuck you. I'm Goldust.
Honestly,
Fuck you."
I think he's probably still pissed off he didn't get the WrestleMania match he begged for. He begged for him versus Cody, career versus belt, and because he didn't get that, I think he's still just causing trouble backstage, and they just used that to fire him.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
he should have just went the Warrior route and did the whole anal sex thing with Vince because that would have worked.
You got a one track mind right tonight, show, don't you?
Again, kids, always use protection and lube.
All right, hot tag number 2, the one that Dace wanted to rant about. CM Punk was talking about the whole gay marriage issue and how he's pro gay marriage on Twitter. Somebody responded to him talking about how they were against gay marriage, and he told them to drink bleach and kill themselves. Actually, it was two different people, I think. But that, of course, led to him having to apologize for it after somebody brought up the Be a Star program, which I'll give them credit for that. That's a fucking great comeback to just be like, hey, punk, be a star. Don't bully people, you know?
No,
Uh,
but
I
to
personally. Go ahead.
in Punk's defense, the dude was being a prick.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I agree completely with Punk. This isn't a politics show, but in my opinion, gay marriage is one of those things that if you're not gay, it doesn't affect you, and if you are gay, then that is the good thing. So,
Plus, they have anal. Anal. What's not to love about
she's
anal
doing
sex?
one more thing. I don't know what you're gonna play out for the next one, but I'm sure it'll be have something to do with that. But when it comes to the whole gay marriage thing, in my mind, that's just the separation of church and state right there. You know what I mean? But this is a wrestling thing, so I was kind of doing more of the Punk thing. But what do you guys think of this whole thing?
Punk,
Well, oh, go
Punk's
on, Chris.
right. Punk's right, but he should have the right to say what he wants without having to apologize for everything he says on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing I don't like. I mean, I understand he's a public figure and the WWE monitors his Twitter and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, he has to have some personal life, doesn't he?
That's one thing with
He has to have the
celebrities.
ability to say that.
That's one thing with celebrities that I hate how they have to just kind of be politically correct all the time instead of just being themselves, because they really just are people.
I
There's
mean, it's the
known.
WWE's fault for having the live stream of every wrestler's Twitter constantly on their website.
Mm.
That'd be brilliant. On
I mean,
WWE.com, Punk to fan, go kill yourself.
it'd be pretty funny.
All right, well, moving on to number 3 then. Cena has filed for divorce with his wife Liz, his quote unquote high school sweetheart, and she has hired the same person who got Linda Hogan, all her money from the Hulk Hogan divorce. Apparently, or supposedly, I shouldn't say apparently, Liz Cena wants 70%, which is fucking ridiculous. But apparently, she signed a prenup and all this kind of stuff, which also has to do with taking back all of the gifts that he would have given her. So it'll, at the very least, it'll be interesting to follow this. Sucks that their marriage doesn't last. I don't know what the details are, so I don't know if it was Cena's fault or his wife's fault. But you know,
Yeah,
Well, if I'm going to look at this from the woman's perspective here. Cena has a penis, so it's all his fault. Like, but also the fact is, bitch be playing. Yeah, think about it. In a Chris using a Chris Rock analogy here. Yeah, bitch has signed a fucking prenup, a fucking agreement stating that all her prezzies will get taken back. Now, bitch wants 70% of man's money. Seriously.
great Chris Rock impression.
yeah, 70% is ridiculous.
Yeah.
50% is ridiculous for somebody who doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the dude goes on the road all the time. What has she done? It's like they haven't even got any kids, for fuck's sake. I've lived in your big ass mansion. Oh, my life is so fucking hard.
Wait, she can get 70% if Brock Lesnar can elbow her in the head.
You know what? That might be a pay-per-view that's going to be better than the TNA one we predict later.
I wouldn't doubt that's one of their storylines.
That's good. The way the TNA is, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to sign Liz Cena or
Also,
Liz, whatever her the last name is after this.
yeah, and we'll have like Dixie doing the
Hogan.
whole thugonomics gimmick.
Yeah. No, you know what? She'll fight Flair, and Flair will lose and start bleeding all over the place, and they'll just switch it around.
And then the
Flair.
vampires will come out and be like, "We can drink forever."
All right, final hot tag. FCW and NXT will be filming together in Full Sail University in Florida to try to have a little bit more cohesion between the two of them. And apparently, they're big fans of the whole concept of filming in that area itself. I don't know anything about the uh, actual arena or whatever they're gonna fucking be in, but to me,
All
this
the venue.
yeah, to me that seems like it's a step downward for NXT and a major step upward for FCW. And I don't know if they're looking at it through that perspective or not, but that kind of makes me think that NXT is basically just going to be FCW from now on. You know what I mean?
I think they're going to transition it. Because NXT really needs to fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
No offense. It's like one of those things that you're just keeping on life support just so you can fuck it. In
Wouldn't you
terms of
take it?
FCW, that show is just being quality. You know, the matches are like stellar. The talent's amazing. You've got a lot of great up and coming WWE guys on there, so I don't see why not. Why they don't actually go that route of having FCW replace NXT as the developmental show on WWE. So I think they're trying to do it mostly so they can actually get the free shows with WWE superstars as a package deal because they're trying to sell everything off to sell the rights off to Hulu so they can actually air it exclusively on their web service. So it's a great idea. Plus the whole intimate feel of the university helps the WWE pull off something a bit better because usually FCW doesn't really sell that well being a developmental show. It looks more like an independent rather than a WWE kind of standard event.
Now, Urban, you haven't ever seen FCW or NXT, right?
I've seen one or two FCW online, but
What about NXT?
no.
You're a
You know
smart
what,
man.
dude? Urban, just get off the show. Just log out.
From what I'm thinking, I think it's a great way for the company to kind of weed out people. I mean, mixing everybody up in a match like this, in a venue like this, they can actually weed out people and see who's actually going to make it and who's not.
Or
Good
who will
point.
suck Michael Hayes' dick? Rosa. Anyway,
Speaking of that, we're gonna go into the tournament and continue that stuff in part 2. So check that out coming up right after this.